What's up, Miniatures Paintbrush Legion? I just wanted to do a quick note before I started this video. I started an Amazon affiliate link, and what happens is that if you want to support the channel, you can click on that link below, which is a link towards paintbrushes and stuff like that I use on a daily basis that I stand behind. But even if you don't use those things and clicks on that link below and go shopping, I get a kickback and it costs you absolutely nothing. One of the easiest ways to support the channel is you click on that link and start shopping to your heart content. Well, thank you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Welcome to Miniatures Paintbrush. Today we're going to talk about where you could begin when you're doing freehand on your models. What's up, Miniatures Paintbrush Legion? This is Rob, your host, and welcome to another episode of Playing with Paint, where we discover new tips, trips, and techniques when it comes to painting our minis. All right, so today is going to be a bit of an intro guide to starting off your very easy freehand. And what we're going to talk about here is cracks and organic shapes that you can easily do and are very forgiving and could be a very good first step for you attempting freehand on your models. Let's go down to Table Town so you can see what I'm talking about. Alrighty, we're at the table and it's time to bring out a piece of paper and a pencil? That's right. So when you want to have an idea, or when I have an idea, what I usually do is sketch out the area of the body that I want to have the design on, and I just sketch out a couple of versions of what might look cool. And there you go. I have, this is what I'm going to do here. So this is like a talon for a zombie dragon that I'm working on. And I just wanted to see what would look cool on a talon because I wanted to change it up. I just didn't want like a bone white talon. I wanted something different. So I did a couple of designs on paper. If you don't know how to draw, that's okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a paper. You're probably going to throw this paper away, so it doesn't matter at this point, as long as it looks somewhat like the object, so you get an idea of what it looks like. Also, what you can do is you could just go onto your phone and get references, right? As long as you have a starting point of what you want to accomplish and it's like simple and easy and organic, then you could really start, your freehand by just getting an idea of what the end product would look like. At least you have a direction. Here I was trying to get the shadows, and I was trying to do shadows and cracks and maybe droplets, and I didn't know which angle to do it from, so I wanted to know what would look coolest. Now, the shadow from the tip of the nail to the base of the nail, or vice versa, I didn't know what I wanted to go for here. And then I started thinking about, well, what if I have things jutting out? And it just came to me, what if I had like cracks coming out of the nail? So I just started drawing cracks coming out of the nail and just like playing around. See, it's like playing around with drawing, just like playing around with paint. This is what I call the pre-painting method, and here's where you make your decision on what you're going to commit to for the painting process. So you can make your errors here on the paper, but as long as you don't make them right on the miniature itself, and even if it doesn't work, you'd always paint over it. But still, it always helps to pre-plan and have a plan like that one right there. All right, so let's take that and transform it onto the miniature itself. So I have this painted bone white, and the leg itself is all painted up, and I just wanted to take it and really just do the crack design, like those cracks coming out. And then the second part of it is, just blending in some of that black base as well. And it's so easy to do cracks. It's just having uneven lines, up, down, left, right. It doesn't matter. Like, think of a branch for a tree. What it would branch off randomly here and there. And I just go through it just like this, starting off with just cracks. Doing random lines is perfect as long as you don't have some kind of pattern. Then at the base, I'm going to have like the blackness just started just start coming up. And one of the things it does that is actually hides any kind of imperfections that I have right up to the line of where the nail meets the skin. And at the same time have the design, that freehand coming out on the nail. I just thought it would be an interesting thing to do, just to break things up. Something to look at, like if you're looking at the miniature from afar, you see extra details as you get closer. I think it's really cool. All right, so this is the finished product here, after, just going and doing the cracks and doing the blending. And I think it came out really, really cool just by getting the concept. All right, I'm going to show you this same concept on a different part of the body. This is the chest plate, and I'm going to draw a couple of the chest plates for the zombie dragon, and I'm going to do that design. Of course, I wanted to tie something in, but I didn't know what I wanted. Do I want like an Eye of Sauron kind of thing going out in the middle, or a gem in the middle, maybe with cracks coming out? I knew I had to have the cracks to incorporate it with the nail so I can tie it all in, but I didn't know exactly how I wanted it to look. So I started just drawing this like gem and the cracks coming out of the gem, and wasn't sure if that's what I wanted to go for, but I just wanted to flesh it out. And I do this every time I do a freehand, like draw it on something so I can get a concept first. Now, if you're not, again, good at drawing, you could always go onto your either the phone or any kind of device and kind of look at different kind of reference photos and choose the one that you want yours to look sort of like. Not exactly. We're not, tracing here. If you think a design is cool, you start making it your own by just adding your own elements. See, in the second version here, I was starting from the cracks coming from the sides, going to the middle, and the middle being dark. I knew I wanted the middle being dark in this one, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to look like. So again, concept sketching is where it's at. Now, if you find some inspiration online, try and get a piece of paper and just try to lay it down on paper, because if you can draw it out, chances are you'll be able to paint it as well. So yeah, having that reference, plus you get practice, muscle memory of how you want the object to look and how to actually recreate it, so your hands kind of remember how to make the design once you've done it already. So doing it on a piece of paper definitely helps. Here's the third design that I did, and I kind of wanted to branch out from the middle, again getting that branching tree kind of crack form, and it's just really random. Don't try to draw a straight line, or if you're really bad at drawing straight lines, try to draw a straight line and it'll come out crooked, and there you go, use that as a crack. I'm going to choose that. I think I'm choosing the bottom one. Here is the carrot pieces I'm talking about, the design. See, it's not perfect on the paper, but it gives me an idea and a direction where to go. So I'm trying to decide here, and you make your decisions based on some things that you can do that makes it kind of easy. Now you have a direction to go in, and that's what I'm going to choose. All right, let's see it actually get onto the carapace itself. Again, just starting out small, something random. Organic patterns are the way to go. You see, your mind, if it sees like something, it's going to try to make sense of it. What I mean is that if it sees a pattern, it's going to try to pick up that same pattern on the other side. So if you're doing one triangle on one side, it's going to look to see if the other triangle is even. Your brain automatically compares both sides to see if it's even or perfectly straight. Why go through all that stress when you're first starting out freehand? Why not do something organic that doesn't have a set pattern and just go crazy with it? Consequently, this same cracking pattern works really well for lightning as well. Not just cracks, but lightning. And this is something easy that anybody can really just do. And I recommend you try it, just like something that's cracking up, and make a design out of it, I thought it was like a cool idea, and it was just randomly came out. I was like, what was the easiest thing I could possibly do? And boom, it just came to me. And I think it worked out well. One of the reasons why I wanted the middle dark is because when I glued those pieces together, you're going to see that they were pre-painted separately. So when I matched them up, it didn't do so well in the middle. Now, I could normally go back in there and get some putty and put some in the middle and do some touch-ups and stuff like that for the bone. But it's just a wide, empty space, and I felt like it really needed some sprucing up. And that's when the freehand comes in. So now I notice it. If I see any like flat, and this is not really flat, but still, like, it's a wide open area, I kind of like want to add my own touches to it, even if it's just simple organic shapes like this. I wanted to add my own touches to it. So I'm always doing the freehand now. I used to be afraid of freehand, to be honest with you. I took a class with Mr. Vince Venturuela at CK Studios in Virginia, and I just overcame that fear because he led me into the directions to be bold and just to go for it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't try to do something, you'll never do it. So go for the freehand, go for it, even if it's simple, right? And I've done more complex designs, and I've learned a lot from it. In fact, I did a shoulder pad for my knight, and the first time I did it, it looked like it had some kind of gum disease because I did a gaping maw, and I just painted straight over that first design with a second design after doing a lot of research on the internet, looking at the mouth of werewolves and wolves and trying to get that wolf onto the carapace. Well, the same thing here. This is an easy organic design, so if you don't have any you don't feel like the stuff that you've drawn is really, the what you want to put onto your freehand, then yeah, definitely look at some references and try to draw them out. Worst case scenario, if you do want to draw something a little more elaborate than this cracking, what you can do is you can take the drawing, like whatever it is that you find as an inspiration on your phone or on your tablet or device, and I want you to try to take it and try to not trace it, but try to copy it as best as you possibly can onto a piece of paper. And I want you to try to draw it like 3 or 4 times on a paper until you feel comfortable drawing it. Then I want you to take that drawing and draw it on the actual miniature itself very lightly and do the outline. And then at that point, what you can do is, just trace those lines in. And then finally, once you have it drawn out, you paint it like you would paint any kind of like physical 3D item that you would have on the miniature. You paint the layers, you paint up. I mean, you're not using washes for recesses, but that's the only difference. And I give you advice with that. Another thing you can do, if you're not even good at drawing at all, get a decal and put it onto the miniature and paint over it. That's a great way to start as well. Well, here it goes. Here's the design that I have, and you can simply recreate this any pattern you want. Go out there and paint boldly. Catch you on the outro.
Well, there it is. It's as simple as that. Just going up, sketching something out, getting a design in mind, laying it down, and just having some fun and seeing where it takes you. Well, I'll get more tutorials on doing more in-depth types of freehand later on, but right now, here is the finished project. So, you can expect a tutorial on how I did the cemetery kind of base, and another one on the full build of this model. So stick around. Well, if you like this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on the Miniatures Paintbrush.